What's up, YouTube? I wanted to jump on here and give my perspective of what I think the upcoming and exciting, anticipating new movie by Jordan Peele, Us, is about. I'm going to talk about what I think the plot is about, and do I think this movie will live up to the same caliber of hoopla as Get Out? All right. So it's been a few days. I've really been anxious to get on here and talk about it because I saw it on Christmas morning immediately. But I wanted to make sure that everybody had a chance to see the trailer first. And I know others have been already discussions about it. And it's definitely highly anticipated by many. But I just said, I'm going to give it a few days. So if you have not seen the trailer yet, don't worry, this can't ruin it for you. But I'll leave the link for the trailer below and you can see it after this movie. And hopefully you'll come back and leave a comment and let me know if you agree or what you think this plot is about. So first of all, let me let you know this. This is a new channel of America. It's all about my perspective and your perspective. We get in here and stir it up and kind of throw a twist on things. So first of all, the movie is titled simply Us. That's right, U.S. Us. And it is written and directed by Jordan Peele under his own production studio, Monkey Paw Productions. All right. Jordan has classified already this movie as a horror / monster mythology. All right. And I've peeped game already, and I can see it's an allegory, another allegory, just as Get Out was. Leave it to Jordan Peele to give us a thriller on Christmas morning as a gift. Okay. I don't know if you had coal in your sock. I didn't. I had a good year. I was a good girl. You know what I'm saying? With a splash of, a splash of naughty here and there. But for the most part, I was good. I'm sure you were too. But he gave us a lump of coal in this thriller, cold, upcoming anticipation, getting us all excited for the coming of this movie. But so like I said, it's a horror / monster mythology. It's an allegory, meaning it has a hidden meaning or an underlying message. And it is slated to premiere on March 15th of 2019. So in the pre-release, Jordan compared the movie to Dead Again, The Babadook, Tale of Two Sisters, The Shining, Sixth Sense, Dead Again, It Follows. So those are kind of ideas, kind of hints for us, right? The movie is starring some known names at this point: Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Elizabeth Moss, Anna Diop, Yahya Abdul Mateen II, and Yahya Abdul Mateen II, amongst many other stars. So let me talk about some hints that we could see. Now, I can tell you when Jordan Peele talked to people that got a chance to see the pre-trailer of the before it was released on Christmas Day, he and all of the interviews he's done with some of the major media networks out there, he makes it very clear that although it was intentional and he really wanted black people to star in this movie, that this movie is not about race. Get Out was about race relations, but Us is not. So that's one hint. It's not about race, okay? He tweeted on Christmas morning. Now, at this point, the trailer's been released to the world for us to see. Many of us had already seen it at this point. And Jordan tweeted on his Twitter page, "Watch yourselves." That's a hint right there. Watch yourselves. So, let's see. Oh, and then in the trailer, we get to see a scene where the family, the main family in this, is driving in the car. They're going on some kind of trip. Um, and you get the idea they're going on a family vacation. And the dad is playing or a song comes on the radio. I don't know if he's playing a cassette or a CD or if this is playing on the radio, but the song is "I Got Five on It." Yes, that song. If you don't know, by the Loonies. The Loonies. That's a classic hip hop rap song that put marijuana on radio's map. Okay, what I mean by that, do your little research back up. It put marijuana on the radio, is what I mean. So, it's probably the number one marijuana song. I guess y'all let me know what y'all think. I would say that's the number one OG marijuana song. So anyway, so that song plays. Okay, it's playing on the radio, and they're driving. The son asks, "What does that mean? I got five on it," and the dad attempts to explain it. But the other hint is once they get to the beach, first you see this monster. The son, the little boy, sees this gory like type monster type creature who is not fully revealed in the scene, but the boy runs across him on the beach while he's kind of wandered off by himself. So next thing you know, when they're back at their vacation, Airbnb or cabin, the night has come, and all of a sudden the son, again, he's always the first. There's something in here important having to do with the son that he sees out the window, and he goes, "There's a family standing out there." And that's when you see this creepy looking family, and eventually you get the sense, you can see that this family is a replica of them. And then you see that these are ugly or scary or monstrous versions of themselves. So that's another hint. Another interview, or in another portion of where Jordan Peele speaks to in the interviews that he's done, he has said that, okay, we are our worst enemies. So we know that it's not about race. We know that he told us to watch ourselves, and we know that he said this is an indicator of how we are our own worst enemies. It brought to mind for me, how right now we live in this social media age. We are in contact. The internet is a beautiful thing. We get in contact with people we had lost contact with over years and decades, our school friends, our long lost family members. And so we feel so much more connected. But in reality, we are following each other, with this computer. We don't get much FaceTime. I mean, not iPhone FaceTime, but real FaceTime and real quality time together. But also we have the ability to meet a number of other people. But are we really meeting them? And are they really meeting us? So there are these personas that we present online in this digital way, and in some cases, people, have you ever heard of, what they call it, gangster fingers, or there's all these different names where some people act so big and bad behind the computer, talking smack or trolling other people, or just being outright cyber bullies. All these things, people can be really ugly. And there's the other thing. One of the things that really grates my nerves is everything when something's happening in public, especially when it's something violent, right? everybody's got a camera phone. That's a great thing. People will get caught. It's proof. There's, so many reasons why this is good. But then here's the thing. Nowadays, people will pull that camcorder out and videotape someone getting beat or abused or just the most embarrassing things. They may have fallen or gotten injured. They'll stand there and video, but they will not help. That's a monstrous act. I find myself going, what is wrong with you? Like, if I'm watching a video, I'm going, what is wrong with you? Why aren't you lending a hand? Why won't you help? Who's calling 911? What's, why are you just videoing this? How could you video this then? And then this person ends up later, you find out on the news that they died or whatever the case may be. These are kind of ideas. And then, the alter egos that people perform. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago about this popular YouTube vlogger. She used to do makeup tutorials on YouTube. And, so that means that people obviously, if she was popular, she obviously, was attracted to others. They loved the way she did her makeup and whatever. They might have even loved her personality. But this person was a monster behind the scenes because this girl was pregnant and her online fan base didn't know it. Okay, she was pregnant, had the baby, killed the baby, dumped the baby in a trash, and the baby died. But she didn't only do this once. She did this 2 times. She got pregnant 2 times, had a baby, and killed the baby. Okay. This second time, apparently, I guess maybe because of the blood, she was probably bleeding excessively and decided, let me go to the hospital. But when she got there, they knew she had a baby because they see all this blood, and the next thing you know, what did she give birth to? A afterbirth. She took a placenta, and everything that indicates there was a baby here. And this is how they found out. My point is, I just was so baffled. I still can't wrap my head around, how could you do that? How could anybody do that? First of all, there were options, okay? But if you carried this baby 9 months, okay, and had the baby, you could have also given the baby up for adoption. Why does your mind go to kill the baby? Okay, but this ain't about that. You can look that up. It was something like, I want to say 2015 or 2016. Let me jump back to my point. This was a person who had this online persona that gathered a lot of fans that people liked. But in real life, she was a monster. Okay? Another hint from the trailer. The father's character, when he is notified by the son there's some kind of family out in the driveway, he goes out there and he's like, hey, what's up? But they're just standing there kind of creepy like. He realized is that, is this a threat? So he grabs a stick or a bat and he's like, if you want to get crazy, we can get crazy. Back to this viewing others and viewing ourselves and others in some light where we really don't know each other, or we put up these fronts, or we don't really know ourselves, and we put up these fronts. I think that Jordan Peele is trying to get us to see ourselves, our entire ugly selves, and, be real with ourselves and each other. Connect, make a real connection, because we're at risk. It's some crazy things going on, as everybody can now see. Like I said, with the gift of digital life comes the gift of reality. That this is what I tell people now. I don't really like horror movies. I remember when I was younger and I liked, the thrill of being scared. When I was growing up, there were the movies like Freddy Krueger and, Jason. So, I'm sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street with the monster Freddy Krueger. Friday the 13th, Halloween with Michael Myers, right? And we loved that as young people. Nowadays, I do not like monster movies. The Exorcist, I do not like those. You know why? Because I don't need to go to sleep with these ugly made up monsters on, because I've lived long enough now to meet and witness and know for a fact that it's not the imaginary monsters that we got to be scared of. There are monsters just like that in real life. And so I don't want to see all that blood and gore. I don't need to, because we've got enough that we deal with in real life. So I say that to say this movie, to me, the previews show me that we are to look at ourselves, the real life monsters. Here's one more twist that I see. Of course, this is my perspective, and I don't know. We'll never know until March 15th when this movie comes out, because I will be there immediately to see it, and I hope that you will too. But I feel like the title, Us, is also wordplay for U.S., as in the United States. Because as beautiful as a country we are, we're the most powerful country. Everybody wants to come to this country. Everybody wants to be here. Everybody wants to visit here, if not live here. It's a beautiful country and with a beautiful, rich history. But its alter ego, it's also a very monstrous and evil at the same time. Our history, yeah. And even though the movie's not about race, I mean, if you think about it, our ugly, dark past, our monstrous sides can be seen in the history of slavery in America. You know, it can be seen in just the way that we do in business. Corporate America. So that's my perspective. We're our own worst enemy. We got to watch ourselves. We need to watch ourselves, according to Jordan Peele. So that's my take on that. You know what? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below, like, or hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. You know, whichever one. Let me know what you think about what my perspective is of this movie. And will you be going to see it? Like, I can't imagine anybody who didn't. Obviously, we saw Get Out. Get Out was the movie of the year. And yeah, I loved Black Panther 2. That's a close second. But Get Out, man, what a discussion starter that movie was for everybody. It wasn't just a black movie. White people watched that movie too, and they had a lot of thoughts. And, they came out with a lot of lessons and different perspectives as well. So everybody was discussing that movie. And I feel like this movie is headed towards. So that, answers the second thing that I said. You heard what I think the plot is about. And do I think that this movie is going to stand up to Get Out? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that Jordan is smart. He's rising to the occasion. He's striking while the iron's hot. And he's on a roll right now. He's definitely on a roll. So I do anticipate that this movie's going to be as good as the hype. All right. That's it. I'm out.